This week I'm going to do a gear video. Now it was prompted by the fact that I decided I needed a pair of small diaphragm condenser microphones, a stereo pair of them, to record my acoustic guitar. Now, I don't know about your gear buying process, but mine normally is kicked off by an idea. In this case, my idea was to record the guitar in stereo because I was asked by someone if I could record a solo guitar part. If I'm recording a guitar in a track, for example, I'll always do it in mono, and if I want two of them, I'll play it twice and spread them out. But for a solo acoustic guitar part, I thought, perfect thing, pair of microphones. So, of course, the next thing I do is go onto the internet and start reading reviews and start looking at the different ones available. And naturally, within about 5 minutes, I've decided I want the Neumanns because they're the most expensive ones, and you never regret buying the most expensive ones. And if you buy cheap, you buy twice. Well, in this case, I'm glad I didn't buy them because after a little while of looking, I suddenly remembered that I bought this pair over 10 years ago for about £30 from Thomann or Thomann, don't know how you say it, in Germany. Now, they're still available. They've gone up to the princely sum of £45 now. They come with the shock mounts, with this T-bar and everything. And I plugged them in, expecting one of them not to be working, as last time I got them out they weren't, but it must have been the cable. They're all working. I plugged them in, and I'm very impressed with the way they sound. So I'm doing a video on these, and I'm going to demonstrate just how good they sound and how to process the sound afterwards to make them sound better. What I'm going to do then, I'm going to play a bit into these mics. Now, I've set them up in an XY position. They're pointing vaguely at the 12th fret. Don't know if you can see from that angle, they're pointing kind of like that. So one of them will be picking up more of the body of the guitar and the other one will be picking up more of the neck sound. But the idea is that kind of bit in the middle is the 12th fret, which is normally where I'd point the mono microphone. Now, I'm probably doing this wrong, and I always find the best way of finding out if I'm doing something wrong is to put it in a YouTube video, because I'm bound to get a comment telling me why. The other thing I've noticed with the comments in the YouTube videos is that I only tend to get useful advice from people who actually post content. If I just get insults and told that I'm an idiot, it tends to be by people who haven't posted any content themselves. Funny that, I can tell where they're going to have content before I even look at the comments. Anyway, I'm going to start off. I'm going to do a few different things. I'm going to do some strumming and some picking, and then I'm going to go onto the computer screen and show you how I process these sounds, and I'll show you what they sound like if I was just to use one of them in mono, and I'll show you the stereo spread and how I process the different sounds, and hopefully you'll think they sound good like I do. Here we go. going to show you first what they sound like. The mics sound like unprocessed and in mono. So they're right in the centre. Let's make sure everything's turned off, so there's no processing. So this is what it sounds like. This is what the microphone that's pointing more towards the guitar body sounds like, with no processing. This is what the other one sounds like. Then if I put them both in together, but still in mono, this is what it sounds like. Then if I spread them left and right, suddenly you'll hear the difference. Now for this you're going to need headphones or stereo speakers to appreciate the difference. Here we go. And then what I do, you could process the two tracks separately, but instead of that I put them to one group channel, and then I apply stereo plugins onto the group channel, as they sound fairly similar, and it works quite well that way. So this is the sound of them with this Neve channel strip. There's the settings. I've added a bit of treble. I normally cut more bass if I'm putting it in a track, but for a solo guitar track I've left the bottom end in. So here they are with the Neve. Then next I put in a tape emulator. This is the Studer one. This just adds a bit more kind of harmonic distortion, saturation, bit of interest. It's only subtle, but here we go. Then finally I put on an LA2 compressor. So here we go. This is what it sounds like with that. And finally I add a little bit of reverb, and I've just got a so let's send it to there. So I'll show you what the reverb is. The reverb is a plate reverb, rusty plate. It's a kind of shorter, not too massive reverb. So this is what it sounds like with the reverb as well. One thing I thought would be good would be to do an A/B with the stereo and mono, because that's the main reason for using these mics rather than doing it mono. So these blocks are in, they're identical copies, these channels, but these ones are mono. So we'll start in mono, then go stereo, mono, stereo. So here we go, let's play that so you can hear the difference. Again, you're going to need headphones or stereo speakers to appreciate this. You won't be able to hear on a phone or a little laptop speaker, I wouldn't have thought very well. Here we go. So get a really nice stereo image. If it's just a solo guitar with a voice on it, you've got the guitars kind of filling the whole stereo spectrum, which is a nice sound. So there we are. I hope that was useful. I hope you think the mics sound good. I can hear there's a little bit of distortion on some of the bits, but that can probably be sorted out by putting in some of the pads and stuff on the mics. I just had them entirely flat without any cuts on them. Please hit like if you enjoyed the video. Hit subscribe and the bell. I'm bringing out new videos every week, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.